great relief to be understood. It's a shame still waters run deep. What the hell? Still waters run deep. Listen up now. When it all goes loud, do you feel alive? Are you feeling lost? That you were made to fight, but you're so much more than a memory. It's not easy. You were made to fight. It's a shame. Still waters run deep.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Hobby Corner. Yes, it's me. Hello. I'm here, I'm alive. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness, what a rush. One sec. I've got to turn the bloody light on. There we go. Hope you're all well. Sorry about that. I ran a bit behind getting the kids down for bed. It was a bit of a mad rush, but hopefully we're still going to have a good show tonight. So I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for being patient and waiting and just having a laugh. And I'm not going to waste too much time now, so I'm just going to go straight into it and introduce our very, very special and honoured guest, straight from the Chilling Wargamers and his own very special channel, Elstonation. It is Mr. Elston himself. Go for it. What?
Sorry,
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You sod.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hobby Corner. I'm Elston. I'm going to be your host today, and today we're joined by a very special guest, Mr. Kev, who's in a corner. I'm going to be if I get my words right, interviewing him profusely today. How are you today, Mr. Hobby Corner Kev? You didn't just put the kids down. There was something else that happened as well, wasn't there?
Well, in putting the kids down, I nodded off myself.
Mr. Hobby Corner
Only
Kev,
for
the
10
first-
minutes though, but it was that 10 minutes and then waking up and realising, oh shit, I've got 10 minutes left to get everything set up.
Mr. Hobby Corner Kev, the kid, the person that puts kids to bed by example by going to sleep himself. So
Yeah,
they just follow
lead
suit,
by
and then
example.
yeah, exactly. How are you doing today, Mr. Kev? How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's just another day in lockdown.
Yay, fun
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
How are you getting on with lockdown life? Is it grating on you yet?
Yeah, it's grating on me a long time ago, really. But I'm just trying to fiddle with the gain on this because the problem is I can't really tell how clear I'm coming out on the other side. It's really annoying because once all the filters kick in, it's different at the other end, and I'm trying to. Anyway, I'll get sound figured out at one point.
Okay.
Eventually.
Okay.
How are you finding the whole lockdown thing? How are you doing? What have you been up to apart from building and painting ridiculous amounts of minis and then burning out like a bright meteor in the sky? But you know, not even hitting the ground. You've just exploded above some random Russian forest.
So like some sort of weird airburst cannon.
Yeah. I feel like you've gone out like just at this moment, like you were blazing along, like 3 armies, yeah, and then before you hit the ground, you just went, fuck it.
Or just pulled the trigger, like, nope,
Yeah.
hold the pin, I'm out. I wish it was that way inclined, but my video kind of, yeah, it's I as I said in my video, I haven't really lost the love for painting at all. I mean, the fact that I just picked this up and I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint this today. So this is what I'm working on right now.
Nice.
Um, I've gone from
That is
army
very
to
nice.
gigantic model. Yeah, lockdown life's been lockdown life. It's what we've had to adjust to, and
Yeah.
yeah, you're getting on with it these days. A little bit sick and tired of the same four walls, but planning on getting an extension built, so a new man cave hopefully will be in order
An
relatively soon.
extension built. Christ.
So we have an outhouse attached to our house, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's just rubbish. It kind of leaks. It's where I put all my 3D printing stuff at the moment because it's in some areas it is dry, but 3D printing is horrible. It like smell to be around that area,
Yeah.
so I just put it in there, run that off. So that kind of works for the moment. But the problem is that wall there is adjoining to my bedroom. So I can't do any late night streams, any early morning streams, or any kind of voiceover or talking because my voice is like a low rumble.
Mhm.
So it goes boom, and the missus is just not happy. So yeah, we're getting we're getting an extension built. So I'll have something maybe double the size of this, maybe triple the size kind of thing. So I'll have enough room to have 6x4 gaming table. I'll have my desk. I'll have storage shelves and everything like that. New
Nice.
area, and I should be able to film everything a lot better. So it'd be kind of
Very
like a
nice.
new Elston studio. When that arrives, when that happens, but we have the added complication right now that apparently lockdown is going to end in June, and my wedding is booked for the 6th of August, and we thought we were going to cancel it. Might not happen, might happen, don't know. So very much on this interesting state of affairs right now where we're like, we might be getting married this year.
Do I have a new annex built on, or do I get
I already
married?
got all that covered, already financed for everything. So I'm on it like a rocket. So yeah. Getting that. How about you? What have you been up to hobby wise, Mr. Kev? I haven't really been keeping track of what you've been doing recently.
So what was the last thing? I last thing I did actually, apart from the Dryker Hammerdrift thing.
Cool.
I did a few more bits from that from last week's stream, but I've just been really busy filming little bits here and there, not really hobbying much. Though
Okay.
I am working on something really fun, right? It's absolutely stupid.
Right.
But I've got like a tub of 50 like, you know, the really derpy looking plastic soldiers that you get from Poundland.
Oh yeah, like the green men on boards thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got I got a pack of them, and they had the derpiest things ever. They were warped, flash everywhere. The faces aren't even right. Everything's like that.
Right.
They're not even fully fleshed out. Like they look like they've been squashed.
Okay.
And I thought I'll challenge myself and try and sort of paint a couple, see how it goes.
So you picked the worst models ever to try and paint. And
Well, the whole point is that a tub of 50 little soldiers with silly guns, and trust me, they are silly guns. Yeah, there's this one guy who's holding an Uzi up against his face like this.
right.
And I thought, okay, I'll have a go at that, and I bought some Poundland primer as well, just to see how that goes.
Okay.
Which stinks, by the way.
I could imagine it's from Poundland.
Yeah, it's the ammonia smell that you don't get with higher costing stuff.
Right.
Which strangely, my wife was like, that smells nice. I was like, you're addicted to hair dye. Of course you think it smells nice. It's disgusting. But anyway, so I'm thinking of maybe doing just a silly video on that, just see how it goes.
Run me through that. Right, run me through it. How are you going to present this thing? I'm intrigued at how you're going to show off these
Just hobbying
rubbish models.
on the cheap, really. If you're looking to save money, but you
What
want to
would you
do a bit
use
of
it for?
hobby anyway, right?
It's not hobby.
For
It's
less,
like
yeah, for a few quid, right?
how?
And
Yeah,
the
but you're
thing
not
is, the
saving it.
scale,
Look,
they look derpy as heck, but the scale was almost right. So
for what?
for
Imperial
anything, just
Girl?
to paint something. If you're on
Like,
a budget and you're trying to save up for like future magazine subscriptions, which I may or may not be covering, then of course you know it's just
So-
a way of getting yourself like
So
something to carry you on.
So your logic, instead of buying something for the games you play, you're going to buy something that's not related to them at all, that's really rubbish quality,
Yep.
just to get the
Worst-
fixing?
Worst case scenario is that the kids can have a go at it as well, and I wouldn't care because it's a
What-
quid for a
I
top
mean,
of
if-
50 little derpy dudes.
If you'd led with that and gone, I bought some stuff for the kids, but I took a couple to try out, then that's a feasible story, but not like, I want to save some money, so I'm going to buy absolute rubbish trash, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll give it to the kids. Maybe flip
Well,
it. That's why I'm here.
You know what? It's just. I thought it would be a fun idea. Why not?
It's
Just
a
fuck it. When do you see
yeah.
people painting cheap ass Poundland things with cheap ass Poundland primer?
Never, because it doesn't get good views.
Well, there you go.
So what's your logic?
Because it's just a bit of fun for me. That's all. So that, I'm gonna be really busy catching up with
Alright.
Mortal Realms. If I ever
Alright.
get around to catching up with the Conquest stuff, which probably will never happen, I got a half painted tank just waiting there that I'll probably
Right.
never get around to doing. And yeah, I thought Imperium I'll probably end up getting that and then getting stuck on that, and I'll keep up for the first 20 issues, and then it'll start stacking up and I'll start falling behind.
I mean, you need to paint like me if you want to keep on top of that stuff.
It's tough. Like you know what?
I know.
I actually envy the people who get it weekly, because you get that issue, you got whatever you need for that week. That's it. You're limited to that for that week. But when you get the 4 issues all at once, it's like, oh, okay, so I've got 4 weeks until I get the next thing. Before you know it, it's like 3 days until the next delivery, and you think,
Do you think you could actually paint that in a week though? Like what they send you? Because the problem is that they're basing it on like a beginner level thing, and like obviously you're a bit more experienced, so you're going to do more experienced stuff, which takes more time. So at that point, you have to commit more time to it because you're doing more advanced stuff.
well, I'll try and do the painting guides that they set out from the magazines, because then it's helping the new people, because sometimes just reading something on a bit of paper is not the perfect medium to learn something, and sometimes watching a video and having someone explain it while they do it for you can help. And that's the aim, really, is what I did was with the other 2, is that for the first lot I go, okay, this is what you really should do. It says to do
Sure.
this, but if you just change it slightly and do it this way, it'd be better for you and easier
Okay.
and faster, but you're
Cool.
not deviating from the paint schemes and everything.
But you couldn't even keep up with that either.
Because it gets to a point where like you always get that big issue where it goes, okay,
Here's
now
our Land Raider.
Go back to the last 25 models that you had and fill out all the bits in Kantar blue, right? And then a couple of issues later it'll be like, okay, go back to all of those 25 plus the new ones that you got in this issue, and then fill out all the bits in White Scar, and you just think, and then you got the conveyor belt it and whatever.
Don't talk to me. That's my bread and butter, man. Like that's what I'm good at.
But you have a handy little gadget which helps speed things up. Like if you're doing it from brush, it does take a bit longer.
But if you've got to go back and paint Kantar blue into loads of little spaces, an airbrush can't help me with that.
No, it's the initial blocking in colors, because once you get to
True.
layering's quicker. But when you blocking in the colors from priming everything, whether or not you do it from the pot or from an aerosol. You have to do a few layers to block out, like say if you sprayed everything gold and you got to paint white, you got to do like 3 layers thinly so you don't screw the model up. That takes time, and then doing that over like 10 models or 20 models, it takes a few evenings when you only got a little bit of time to go.
Now what's the lesson I've been trying to teach people? What's the lesson, Kev?
You impossible.
No, that's just silly talk. That's what? Right? What? Right? Okay. So for everyone watching, if you've only got a certain amount of time in the evening to paint more models, and you want to paint more, what do you do?
Give yourself more time, or get up silly o'clock.
Give yourself more time. How do you do that? Either get up earlier or stay up later.
Yeah,
It's simple.
doesn't
If
work.
you want to do it,
Doesn't work in a lockdown environment with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old who won't go to bed half the time when they're supposed to, and then when they do, you've got to catch up on all the housework, and then morning comes and they're waking up at the crack of morning before the birds are chirping, and you're like,
I know the feeling. My dog wakes me up at 4:30 in the morning, man. And all I do is I let him out, let him go to the toilet, get him sorted, and then put him straight back to bed.
Wow,
I
wish I could do that, but we have to avoid any naps with the kids whatsoever, especially our 2-year-old. He even gets 5-minute nap. He's up till 10 at night. It's
really?
ridiculous. Yeah. I don't
What
know
kind of genes have you passed on to your son?
I don't know. I could stay up to silly o'clock, without.
Well
a nap.
done, Kev.
But
You got no one to blame but yourself in this scenario, then.
Probably, I don't know. Right. So, shall we just have a look and see who's in the chat? And
you can do if you wish to. I shall allow this.
All right. Thank you. It's very kind of you to allow me on my show. By the way,
It's fun.
Different Gear has been complaining about my volume. I did tweak the. The thing is, I'm maxed out, and I did tweak the sound.
Are you maxed out on your volume or on Streamlabs?
On Streamlabs and on my volume, and on the filters, I even reduced the gain. Not reduced the gain. I've increased the gain, and I reduced the cutoff threshold. So you should have been able to hear me better.
When I had Luke on my show, I found out that my volume directly affected his volume. So when I was talking, like they were saying I was too quiet and then Luke was too quiet, and I had to kind of get this magical balance between the two, so they're both not really high. Like they started coming in line with each other.
Control your own volume on me, reduce you, and will that affect? Can I? Because my desktop volume is down a little bit, because otherwise you'll be red zone all the way.
Yeah, so depending on what you've got coming through, because on your actual computer, your speakers will be a volume. That's what you're hearing. You're not hearing Streamlabs. So if I'm coming through loud, you need to turn down your computer volume.
Yeah, which is what I did.
Yeah. So, okay, that's fine. But then what happens with the whole Streamlabs thing is a little bit of a guessing game, and you kind of need the chat to help you out. And you basically go, chat, when's the balance right? So you just tweak it a little bit, tweak me down, tweak you up until you get to a sweet spot, and then the chat can go, oh, it works. So, chat, we need your help here. We're going to finally sort out Kev's balancing issue with volume once and for all, because no one else has been courteous enough to do it. It's like seeing someone with a bit of spinach in the middle of their teeth. No one's done it yet, so I'm gonna point out and be like, right, okay.
On max on the Blue Yeti, okay.
Okay,
so, literally, you could hear me just go.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can. It's disgusting. So, right, we're gonna work with Streamlabs. So Streamlabs, that's what we're gonna work with. So you've got a desktop, which will be me, and you've got your mic, which is you,
and
we need to. Right, so we need to bring yours, or we need to either bring mine down a little bit. If yours is up full, bring mine down a bit, and see if it starts working. So chat, help us.
So you're just tickling the yellow bars.
Okay,
Right.
tickling yellow.
Tickling the
tickles-
yellow bars. Tickling, yeah.
Tickling yellows. Okay,
Tickling
fine.
yellow.
Okay.
Right. We need to get my volume into the yellow.
Hello.
Because
Hello.
right now it's not even touching
Right.
yellow.
So if we both talk kind of at the same time, a little bit like what we're doing right now, then hopefully people will figure out. So talk at me.
Right. Well,
I will talk at you at the same time. So we will
talk
cross streams.
same time.
Yeah, you don't have to put a weird voice on. We just talk
No.
at each other. That's all. Just talk.
You could
Talk.
Could always do
Talk,
the
damn
old
it.
Oriental man.
God damn you, Kevin. Talk, will you? Please.
I will talk how I want when I want, you rapscallion.
What was that? That's amazing. That sounded like a man that was constipated. Like, I gotta
All right.
get out.
I need my prune juice. I got
need
quieter.
more.
Okay, right.
I need more fiber. So,
no, I'm not using the headset mic. I'm using the Blue Yeti, the big mic. My headset's just plugged into it, so I can hear myself through it.
so just double check your settings that the actual
Okay.
volume is the actual sound is being picked up by the Blue Yeti and not something else. I think it is because it sounds pretty clear.
100% is because look.
Okay.
Oof,
Okay. Okay. So
That should be
Chat.
better, but it's still not. I'm fiddling around with the threshold and everything, and it just.
just volume. Just volume. We're just working on volume. That's all we got to do.
I'm
Volume.
maxed out on volume.
Right, then turn me down a little bit.
But if I turn you down, then they won't.
Turn me down a little. If they're saying you're quiet and I'm loud, then turn me down to
I've
the
turned you
point
down.
where...
You're down to half.
Okay, right. Everyone, can you still hear me? Am I still dominating this chat? Because I like to dominate things. how far away is...
the frustration in my voice?
It's not frustration, that's constipation. There's a difference.
Well, one leads to the other, I suppose.
Yeah, constipation leads to frustration. Yes, so yeah, that's a logical
Get an
conclusion.
XLR. Oh, okay. Well,
So Pickle say you can hear me fine. So,
Yeah.
all right. How about Kev? Kev,
can
Kev?
you hear me? Okay. I've got the mic right next to me. I've got my little pop shield right there. It's facing me.
We do have a slight
go.
delay, obviously, of like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
We have to.
Elston is still
yeah.
louder. Yeah, I know he's
Yeah,
still
so
bloody
give-
louder. Down
bring
and
it-
down.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
do down. Yeah,
So-
well, different. It's just different, you know. Pickle. It's just different. All right.
If
Not
it-
everyone
if
is
it
as
gets-
amazing, as
if-
wonderful, and
if it-
professional like you,
If
Mister.
it gets that bad, Kev, I'll get TeamViewer fired up and I'll remote on and we'll figure out what's going on, one way or another. That sounds better.
Apparently,
Yeah,
it sounds
from-
better now. Okay.
Okay.
Could be cable connect. No, because it's a brand new cable. That's why it didn't work.
So
Like when I first
we're getting there,
streamed.
guys. Guys, are we perfect or do we need to tweak more? Let us
La
know.
la la la.
Because we are getting this. Elston's still loud. Is it setting the mic like the problem I have?
Everybody clap.
So the interesting thing is,
Everybody sing. La 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 la.
I can hear Kev fine.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the mic. I think it's Streamlabs. So this is why we're tweaking. We're going through this
Tweaking.
once and for all, hopefully, to get this sorted out.
We are now
Sounds good
tweaking
now.
along with
Sounds good.
Commissar, the caring Commissar, because he likes
Still
a bit of
not
tweaking.
apparently he's still not as loud as me. So Karen Commissar saying it's balanced actually.
I think
Kevin's still quiet.
part of that, yeah, but I think part of that is because I'm a bit more bassier and you're a bit more pitchier. So we got different tones, so they kind of counteract a bit.
You're really justifying volume to do with tones.
Well, yes.
Okay. Apparently Elston is quiet now too.
Kev's still quiet. Elston is quiet now too. Yay, we're all quiet
it-
now. Turn up
Norsky-
your volumes.
Norsky's saying it's about the same. Yeah, sounds more balanced to me on headphones.
All right, as
Okay,
long as
right,
it's
we'll-
balanced, that's a win.
We'll go with that. So thank you, everyone.
We're
You've been
halfway through the show. We just got sound.
Thank Thank you, everyone. You've been great tonight. Welcome
Cheers.
to the Hobby Corner.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the Hobby Corner, the
Yeah.
finest experience in all of YouTube.
You're just going on the soft drinks tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I ran out of beer and I can't be asked to start on the rum.
Kev, I brought this along especially because I knew you're a drinker. So
I'm not much of a
Yeah.
drinker, actually.
you drink on most streams.
I really don't. I did in the summer. Like, every night, it's like, here's this beer. Try something different today.
Okay, right. So are you doing any hobbying tonight then, Kev?
Well, I grabbed a tray of random stuff in front of me.
Are they little plastic rubbish men?
No, no.
Okay.
I might actually try and finish off the Hammerdreth actually.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, I was gonna
Okay.
do the little I was gonna do the little shout out thing. Let's do that quickly, and then we'll get to more serious stuff. Yeah. All right. So roll call. We have the Caring Commissar. We have Ravens Rook Miniatures, Void Captain Bazooka, Nomsky Elon, Andy Allen, the Pickle Jar. Ooh, who else we got? Different Gear TV, Pirate Queen Pickle, the Immersive World Crafter, that is Mr. Kevin, the other Kevin. We got Nightbot as well. Big Mech Dan Skull, how you doing? Pretzel. We have Frost and Fist, how you doing, me Foss? Judge
Hello.
Gudge, the legend, and Silent Burp. Meandering Shade as well. Look at that, G the Hyper Sapien. How you doing, buddy? Wow, we got loads of people all over the place. Richard Smith, how you doing?
Richard Smith.
Gotta scroll down. Wargamer Spard, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for popping by. Void Captain Bazooka. Yes, Tweaking Kev. That is a hashtag now. Thank you very much.
Tweaking Kev. Also, I would like to see. I don't personally want to see it, but I would like to see the hashtag twerking Kev, and then someone do a meme of that. Please, someone get a meme. I would love to see it on the Facebook page. Please, by the end of the evening, I want to see it. Please.
All right. Lifeguard Leroy, thank you for joining us. Hello. I haven't missed anyone. No, that's it. And of course, Meandering Shade at the end. How you all doing? Hope you're well. Thank you so much for joining us on this roller coaster adventure that is the Hobby Corner, featuring Elston. And I told you, Elston, didn't I? I told you that this show was just gonna go straight away.
Yes, you did. I intended on it. I was planning the entire time. I was actually planning on taking over to a certain degree, and also I want to see how much you can deal with my chaos. So
I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm handling it.
You're getting there. You're getting there. We've still got some time, so don't worry.
We do indeed.
We're going into the mix of things, especially when I do stuff like this.
All right. Stop doing your fancy zoom. I can really see the reflection in your glasses there. Is this going to be like one of those like Instagram minis where like it just zooms in and you see all the cells and then it goes down to the atoms and then it zooms back out?
Oh, sorry, what, darling?
No, I didn't think so.
What? Darling? See, I can go far back. I can go really far back. Look, I get smaller. This is all it is with me. I'm not actually a small person. It's all about perception. I just turn on the zoom. Like,
Is that what you say when
zoom
you're out in public? His eyes did look trippy, didn't they?
Zoom in.
So your video was a very interesting video that you posted earlier today.
Sorry. Yeah.
$3,000 worth of Forge World stuff.
Yes. Yes.
All Night Lords. I mean, I think that's a waste of money personally. You could have gone with.
You need to go jump in a bin.
Ultramar's finest, but you know, it's all right. You know, you want to go psychopathic criminals.
Did you just say
superhumans?
Ultramar's finest?
Yeah.
Dear Lord. Kev, I did Ultramarines in Heresy. They're boring.
Look, just because they do
boring.
everything well doesn't mean they're boring.
No. Right, here's the real grudge. For some reason, in Heresy, Ultramarines have the Legatine axe. Their standard weapon, or their default glorious weapon, is an axe. Who got that wrong? Like
That is
that's
a
not
bit of
right.
a bent thing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
What? Why an axe? Power fist? I can understand. Sword? Gladius? Cool. Yeah, I understand.
Why
Axe?
not?
No.
Why not? It's
Why?
a handy tool.
Because it's dumb.
It has many tactical and resourceful uses.
Yes, I know, but axes are not a stereotypical weapon that the Ultramarines carry. Are they? You know that better than I do. Don't you, Mr. Ultra Smurf?
Well, you say that, but actually, some of the Fictrix Guard, no, not the Fictrix Guard, but the Honor Guard before Marnius Calgar got his upgrade, did have power axes.
Okay.
So it was
Still
already a thing before Horus Heresy became a thing.
Still does not justify them having axes, and I've never forgiven them for that. So Ultramarines have just got it backwards all the time. All the time.
No.
Anyway.
No.
So, right. All right.
The whole
Chat.
point of the Ultramarines is that they have this Greco-Roman sort of esque theme about them,
Yeah.
but
Which is boring.
at the same time they have the full flexibility of being able to adapt to anything. So having an axe
Yeah.
isn't really a big deal. They could walk around with a whip if they wanted to, if they found it a tactical weapon to use.
So Ultramarines have got the same problem that Superman's got. It's just the fact that you'd be like, okay, they're good at everything. And you're like, great, awesome. What character can you put to that? You're like, well, they're really proud. Oh, great, awesome. They're not as proud as the Emperor's children, are they? No. Okay. Do they do anything particularly well? Well, they do everything well. Like any kind of defining features, characteristics that the Ultramarines do. They're pretty good at rules. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with being good at something.
I'm good at everything. It's just boring.
Yeah, they're good at everything. They don't excel at everything, but they're good at everything. This
is why this is why Marvel flattened DC every single time, because DC have just got this OP character, which is just like, all right, why have you got a guy that can move like nearly faster than light, fly, nearly indestructible, freezing breath, laser eyes, and X-ray vision?
Mm-hmm. And he's still
super strong.
And he still needs a help from the rich kid in a bat costume.
I don't think he does.
No, that's the point I'm making. He doesn't, but they think that he does. Just because he gets weak at the knees to a little glowy rock.
Yeah. The weird thing is they've Kryptonite's obviously the main thing with Superman as his main weakness, but at the same time, if he doesn't go in the sun for a while, he gets just as bad. You're like, right, why didn't I don't know. What's the point in having any kind of meaningful story when there's a god walking around? Like, same with Dr. Manhattan. You're like, what kind of storyline can you put to that? You're like, well,
that's why I do like Marvel's spin on a Superman-esque character. What's his name? He's mentally he's like on the verge of a breakdown constantly, and he's like he makes One Punch Man look ridiculous. Like,
who are we talking about? This sounds like a really intriguing person.
I can't remember, but he's like he wears this bright yellow suit, and he's got like can't remember if it's a Z or an S on his belt.
You're not thinking like Shazam or anything like that.
No, not Shazam. Let me just quickly.
I'm intrigued. On the verge of a mental breakdown.
Sentry, that's it. Thank you, Hyper Sapien. That was it. Sentry. he's quite a flawed character. Like, he is a bit mental, but he's super OP, like Superman. I mean, there was this one bit where this ain't really spoilers because these comics have been out for years. Asgard is floating above Arizona desert because Thor's trying to bring Asgard back, and Hammer, who take over the role of the Avengers, have like the bad guys who are like newish kind of Avengers, bad guys turn good sort of thing. And then for some reason they get Sentry involved, and he just flies right through Asgard, gone, just like that.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
and the whole time he's like, you know, with inner angst and like, ah, and it's just like,
yeah.
Whose idea was that character? Oh yeah, look, let's get Superman at his worst, but just make that the standard for the character.
See, that's the best. That's the best. Like Superman, like this is the problem when you, as I said, when you've got gods and stuff in things, like X-Men Apocalypse, like that was so dull because you bring in a god. Like gods are just boring. Gods are only fun if there's gods versus gods, and then the only thing you can really do is go for a CGI action explosion kind of movie where it's like boom, boom, boom. You're like, cool. But meaningful storyline is kind of hard to relate to when you're like, wow, I could just deflect bullets. I can do anything I want whenever I want, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah,
So,
laser beams, frost breath.
Yeah, exactly. What's the point? What's the point? So
I can boil my rice and make ice cream at the same time.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, if you got, like, that's why Marvel got it right, because they're like normal. Well, I say they're normal people, obviously not normal people by any, but there's flaws in them all, so they can be kind of relatable. Whereas, like, oh, I'm not gonna kill you now because your mum's got the same name as my mum. I mean, that was the weakest part of any movie ever.
All right. Oh, we got ding ding nerd off. An axe is not just a weapon; it's also a tool. I think it makes sense that the Boy Scouts of Astartes would use them. I'm waiting for the actually. Actually.
Oh god.
So Elstonation's problem is that they're too powerful, but also that they're not as powerful as the Emperor's children.
Debatable. Like
he can't go to the toilet in his suit though, so that's not perfect. Okay. At Elstonation, you got a question. What celebrity will you have for Conrad Kurz?
I mean the Noel Fielding.
Noel Fielding as the goth from the ID card.
I did like that. Very much kind of like it's going to be hard to top that. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is like Gollum.
We should strangle them in their sleeps. No, precious, don't do it. Yes, do it. No, precious, don't do it. Yes, strangle them in their sleep and then hang their corpses from the stars. No, precious.
I love this. I love how crazy you've gone. I love that.
You have to go with it, you know.
I'm so happy that you did that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I can't do any accents because I just end up sounding kind of Jamaicanish, but I've got a fucking nail. Someone said that they thought it was Captain Marvel, as she's kind of Superman.
Yeah.
She got held back by a little chip in her neck.
I got kind of confused by Captain Marvel because, like, Endgame, she comes down, takes on all those like shots to the face, goes through the ship, like destroys all of that, and then Thanos punches her, and she goes, "Pwah."
No, he picked up one of the stones, and then punched her with the power of that stone.
She should have come back pretty quickly though after that.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, though, right? She was supposed to be like off, like galaxies away at that time. Yeah, and because
Yeah.
they asked her, "Will you be back any time soon?" She's like, "No,
I'm busy.
I'm
with other
I'm
people,
busy.
thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm busy helping other
Thank
people
you.
elsewhere. I'm well away."
Yeah.
And they're
Not
like,
just
"Oh, okay."
you.
And yet somehow she just knows to turn up. Oh, plot hole. Yeah, I know, but my favorite bit was like Peter Parker going, "Hey, look, take that. You know, are you gonna need help or whatever?" And then like you just get like the girl
Oh, they are.
Avengers, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll help her out." And it's like, did you just see what she did? I don't think a stabby stick and a girl on a flying horse is gonna do much extra that she can't. But knock yourselves out. I mean, it was a nice little moment that like girl power. It was good to have that little cookie key moment of like an alternative comic story there.
Yeah.
It was just
However,
they were dropping Easter eggs all over the place, weren't they?
However, they could have done it better, and I'm going to I'm going to go into a little bit of a sensitive subject here, but I'm not going to comment on it at all. But the most recent Mandalorian at the end, where all the women are kicking ass, and
Yeah.
they don't make a special scene about it. They just are, and I was just like, I was looking at my missus, I was just like, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, and she's like, what? And I was like, how are you not sensing women empowerment here? Like, they are massacring
Oh.
everyone. And
Don't get me started with the whole I'm a feminist, but unless a woman is successfully more empowered than me, and then I hate them. Nonsense.
No, I'm not big. I was annoyed that got overlooked as that was a big thing to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, where that was like, instead of loading on the cheese that Marvel did at the end of that, I'm like, you could have just done made it coincidence, and it would have been awesome.
Yeah,
But
it was really good, and they really were. It was well scripted. It didn't feel forced at all. It kind of evolved nicely with the story.
Yeah.
It's not just like this token moment shoehorned in.
Yeah, because it feels like that was they had their 30 seconds of fame, and then it was like back to everyone else. And they were
Yeah.
like, what?
I mean, look, the Vision struggled with that dude who had the long pointy stick, and yet the head of the Wakandan Royal Guard
just
stuck him in a second, like just done. And it was like they kind of in that moment. I know they had a lot to go through and everything, but the lieutenants, the Thanos's lieutenants, just dropped so easy.
yeah. The Black Order, isn't it? I think
The Black Order. That's it.
Yerp.
Yarp. Yarp.
Yeah, I know the massive Warcraft. I know it was Korax that we initially said was Noel Fielding, but Kev did a meme with Conrad Kurz and Noel Fielding, and it was just too good. It was just. I'll get out. I'll tell you what. I'll see if I can do a stream at some point this weekend, and I'll show off some of the memes. And
Like
stuff
if someone could do the whole the whole scene of the IT crowd when they first reveal him, but just put Kurz's armor underneath his face, right? That'd be perfect. And then have like each of you could have like Moss and what's his name, like costume as like one of the other Primarchs, and they'd be like, yeah, you don't want to go in there. Yeah, why not?
You could do like the Dark King. There was Fulgrim and Rogel Dawn. Like Moss could be.
It
Moss
is
could be
lieutenant,
Rogel
not
Dawn.
lieutenant. We're not savages.
Someone did also a very good meme. I think it was Prince Charles, I think, and Lionel Johnson, because we mentioned it on stream. And there was a brilliant meme that we've been sent. I've got to show it to people because it's so good, so good. So good.
Roy, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, you have to send that to me.
Yes.
Wasn't there like a very brief little group chat thing in Discord for those Primarchs, or did I imagine it?
Yeah, there was. I think it was. I'm not sure what channel it was on. We'll have to find it. But if I may make up another channel just for that because it's so good.
It's so much fun, right? Oh, and
Yeah.
who was Angron again?
Oh, Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. You fucking what, mate?
Exactly. Just every time you look at him, you also half think of like Peter Pan and like Hook, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's me.
Shmee. Yes,
So then-
Captain. Yes, Captain.
I'll-
That's
I
how he
kinda-
talks. That's how he talks to the Emperor, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
Captain. and then like when his daddy's gone, it's like, you fucking what, mate?
Yeah, it goes to like Unleashed version Bob Hoskins. It's like, don't you talk to me like that. Like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
I almost
agree.
forgot that you played Smee actually.
Yeah,
Such
no.
a contrast to his usual roles.
Yeah, it's weird. Dustin Hoffman playing Hook because he doesn't. It's a very different character to what Dustin Hoffman usually does.
Hmm.
But I know Dustin Hoffman can do like loads of weird things, and yeah, it now that I watch it back, I'm like, Dustin Hoffman's a really good actor.
He's all right, isn't he?
Yeah,
But I think he gets shoehorned into the father role a lot.
well, like, yeah, now because he's ancient,
Yeah.
he's kind of in part of that old. I want to say
He's going through a
14 years old.
phase, isn't he? Yes.
Yeah. They're in the it's a really sad time because there's a lot of like good actors that are now in their sort of end phase. Oh look, butt,
Yeah.
tree butt,
Yeah, and I made it like a nice fleshy pink color under there.
like a baboon tree butt.
Yeah, it literally has fleshy pink flaps around the back.
Well done, Kev. You've made it anatomically correct and something you can play with later.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
I even used a little bit of gloss in there just to give it a moist look. Moist.
Kev, you're going too far with this, dude. There's a line I have. Like,
Well, you
full
don't
on
like the word moist.
No, I'm talking about insinuating of penetration. It's just not on. Okay,
I
thank you
didn't
very much. It's just
insinuate
not on.
anything.
You insinuated many things.
I'll just
Me-
balls out say it.
You want to penetrate a tree bud?
No, it's fungi.
You want to penetrate a fungi?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to penetrate a sourpuss. But
Did you ask this fungi if you could penetrate
Oh yeah, you
him
did.
first?
Couldn't. You have to always ask first.
Yeah, it's manners. And
It's
and
manners, yeah.
British, so that's-
The least you could do, in all politeness, is ask first.
yeah, it's like, do you mind? And if they say no, be like, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to override and veto that decision off of you. And yeah,
Oh no.
What?
Move away
What?
from that one. Move away from that one. That is a bit more on the edgy line.
what veto?
Yeah, vetoing someone's ability to say whether or not you can penetrate them.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Anyway,
You started this, Kev. It's all your fault.
I never said it, so I'm scot free. Thank you very much.
Not happening. I'll blame it on Kev. It's his channel.
Oh, dear.
Demonetization.
So, what are you painting tonight, Mr. Elston?
A big dragon.
Yeah, but what part of it?
The head.
Which one?
The
Ah.
bottom right.
Let's have a proper look. Hang on. That thing is absolutely huge. That is not a mini.
Yeah.
That is an action figure esque type thing. Yeah, it's like something that you would have to fight with your He-Man action figure.
Yeah. This model has been sat in my room and it's been kicked about a fair bit because it's actually just been moved to get out of the way. And I'm like, it needs a home, so it's getting done. He comes with like a base where he puts his claws on and stuff like
It
that.
looks a lot
So we're
lighter
gonna make
than what model kits normally are.
it's Reaper bones, so it's got one of that rubbery
Oh, so it's not full resin; it's like a rubberized sort of.
yeah, yeah. It's not like it's bendy, so like
Yeah.
so I can do this kind of stuff with it. But
Ooh.
yeah, it's
How does paint stay on bendy without cracking?
it doesn't that well.
Oh, well, there you go then.
To be brutal, which is why I want to get it finished.
Right, my Night Quester is going to come and just hack it.
Gonna get you.
Yes, it fell off the base, as they all do. At Elstonation, airbrush question. So if
Right.
I do a centerfold highlight, then do my base color, is it worth hitting the base color again from above with a lighter color, or is it overdoing it? I think that's overdoing it.
It depends on how thick you put on your base layer. If your base layer is massively opaque, so that there is none of the zenithal showing through, then yeah, you're kind of overdoing it. However, it's nearly impossible to completely overdo it without doing like 6 layers, because all paint is semi-opaque. So you have to do quite a lot to really kind of like completely get rid of any zenithal highlight.
Mhm.
So it's kind of tricky. And at first glance, it might not look like it's the zenithal highlight has done anything, but I guarantee if you put that next to a model which hadn't been zenithal highlighted, you would definitely notice a color change. So what you will see is possibly a less vibrant color of what you're going for. So if you're going to do that, if you do the zenithal highlight, then your base coat, and then do another one, you're kind of pushing it up to a higher contrast level. If you're doing that, I'd say if you're doing that, go for the top layers, a bit like the zenithal highlight, but try and aim less for the bottom. Try and just go for the top, and then you'll get a really nice contrast because you'll have the dark areas from the zenithal mixing with the dark areas of the base coat, and then also you'd have the highlights of the secondary.
He says it's dark purple if that helps.
Yeah, dark purple. Yeah, I would probably, yeah, that'd be worthwhile because dark purple you need kind of a strong contrast to really make it pop, because otherwise it's very close to like the black range and like dark blue.
It's very rich color, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't to really get it to look kind of that rich royal purple, if that's kind of what you're going for. If you're just going for dark purple, then it's fine. But for it to read as purple, you'll need a relatively richer contrast, so something a little bit higher, possibly pushing more towards the reds rather than the blues of purple. And yeah, see how that goes. That would be my advice to try out. As all things, try it out first, see what it looks like, and see if you like it.
All right, next question. Which, and this is from Mr. Spud, which Primarch do you think will come back to 40k? He thinks it might be the Lion.
I'll let you go for this one first, Kev. What do you think?
That would be rawsome. No regrets. No, I'll tell you what. It works for 2 reasons.
Don't talk to me until you've apologized for what you just did.
I will never apologize for it. It's my right and duty as a father to make bad puns and dad jokes.
I don't care. I will not allow it on this show while I am here. Apologize to me for doing that.
Bye. It's 50% my content. What are you going to do?
50%. The other 50% is me right now. So this is a partnership, Kev. It's a partnership. Go for it.
Well, okay, for me, it works for two reasons. One, they can give him the same treatment that Gilliman had. You know, a little bit of mech work, a little bit of Xenos techie, wizardy witchiness. So sort of bring him back. But there are some people who believe that he's not even in stasis and actually he is out and about. And that, you know, one of the cover-ups for the inner circle of the Dark Angels is that, you know, he's actually not in stasis. So, you know, it all depends on that sort of thing. But yeah, no, it would make sense, and it could cause some drama between Gilliman and Leah. Oh, I'll call him Lionel. Why not? Lionel, because Leon L. Johnson, because he, you know, when, and this isn't really spoilers because again, this is like years old storyline. But when Horus Heresy was like in its full-fledged bombasticness, you had Falcon randomly appear in the Ultramar segmentum.
Do you know why he appeared there?
Because of his little trinket that had like a homing beacon device thing on it that just sent him there.
His hammer.
Yes. Then of course the Angel and Lion turn up there as well to reinforce Gilliman, and they were like, if Terra falls, we need a backup plan, so let's be ultra heretics and form a second Imperium here, hence Imperium Secundus as the name for that region.
Secundus?
Yeah, Secundus.
It's the way you say secundus.
Secundus.
Secundus. Secundus.
Tomato. Anyway.
Yeah.
They ultimately agreed that the new War Master should be Sanguinius, because Gilliman conceded he'd be too busy running his mini empire of 500 worlds, and the Lion, he, for his own reasons, thought it'd be a bit too sus for me to be the new War Master, so I'll just let him have it, and then he can get the flack essentially if shit goes wrong. So yeah, there's going to be that tension between Johnson and Gilliman about Gilliman being essentially running everything, because of course Johnson wouldn't have wanted that, and he would see that as a direct conflict because he sees himself as the first son because he's the leader of the First Legion.
Which
so
is
he
weird.
kind of they're all birthed at the same time in tubes. It doesn't bloody matter, but in his head he's the first son, so he's always going to have that pride thing. And of course, being brought up on a feudal world, he's a bit stuck up himself, you know.
He said like, yeah, I fought big cats when I was a child. Did any of you fight big cats? No, I was in a gladiator pit. No, I had to kill people with a knife. It's made, and I had to eat my own blood. Yes, but you didn't fight big cats.
I fought a big cat and killed it with my bare hands. So what if I'm 3 times bigger than the average man? I still did it.
Good for you. One of your psycho weirdos did it on his own as well. Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah, but he kind of cheated because he stuck his gun inside the creature and blasted it from the inside out.
Still not a Primarch though, is he? Still not a Primarch. So, Mr. I fight big cats, you'd be like, well, it's not that big of a deal because you killed them all anyway, so it can't have been that hard.
Yeah. Plus, you're gonna have this whole thing of you know, the reason why they had Cypher, is because he was supposed to be the one outsider of the Order that gave an opposing opinion. You know, he was there to counter the general consensus of the opinion within the inner circle. Yeah, that was his. That's why he was spared.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Can you do all the rest of what you were going to say in Gollum's voice?
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
No.
It'll be amazing.
It
Everyone
wouldn't.
will
It'd
love
be
it.
very confusing, and I'd get
Everyone
confused.
give him likes. Everyone give him likes and stuff. Share this out. And they'll do, hopefully, we can bully him into doing Horus Heresy talk in Gollum's voice.
I wouldn't
Please.
do it short of donations.
Please, just do it. Do it. Just do it. I don't care. I'm just going to keep on annoying you until you do it. Just do it.
Anyway,
Do it. Just
so Cypher's running around with the Lion Sword at the moment, right?
Gollum.
Everyone's hunting him down, thinking he's a
Gollum.
traitor. Trying to hunt down the Lost Brothers, because apparently they're
Gollum.
traitors. But they,
Gollum.
you don't know if the original ones are traitors, or
Gollum.
if the renegades are traitors, or who's
Gollum.
loyalist. Alpha
Gollum.
Legion stuff.
Gollum.
Anyway, it is what it is. So
Gollum.
there's that whole conflict of the Lion coming back and going, "What the did you just do
Gollum.
to my legion?"
Gollum.
So yeah,
So people are requesting it.
but at the same time, there are other
Gollums.
Primarchs that can come
Gollums.
back, like Russ,
Gollum.
because the Wolfen have turned up, right?
Gollum.
You know, the mutated
Gollum.
space wolves. They've been stuck in the warp for too long. Where's Russ? He's still hiding. I reckon
Gollum.
he's going to be a bit
Gollum.
werewolfy when he comes back. Right? That's what you're getting.
Please do it.
Oh dear.
Everyone, please. See, everyone's doing it like Gollum. It's a thing.
What do you mean, everyone? It's
It's Kev.
one. It's Kev. It's Kev being a Kev to a
It's
Kev.
It's
Don't Kev a
being
Kev.
backing me up because he knows what's right.
Oi, Kev! Don't Kev a Kev. Us Kev's supposed to stick together.
No.
Kev Nation.
Kev Nation. Dear Lord.
Yeah, Kev Nation is a thing.
Yeah.
It's a ting.
It's a ting.
It's
A ting. A ting.
It's a ting.
A ting. It's a ting, man.
It's a ting, man. Yo, Kev Nation. It's a ting, man.
Sounds like a tango advert from back in the day.
Oh man. Oh, do you remember the old what was
Slappy
that?
Dan tango.
No. Oh well, that was just ridiculous, wasn't it? Happy slapping. That was
Yeah.
nonsense. Oh no, what was it? There was this one drink. Was it Fanta? Yeah, I remember it was Fanta, and you had those middle-aged Caribbean women, right, come up and say, "Get some sunshine into your life, you gloomy little man." And just give him a drink, and he's like, "What?" Silly adverts like that always stuck with me.
You can't really get away with them now. Everyone gets a bit upset if you do something slightly wrong. So everyone's like, treading on
Apparently, the
eggshells.
voices of Twitter outweigh the voices of every sensible thinking person in the world, just because
Now,
they can stomp
yeah.
their feet the loudest.
let's not go into that kind of political talk because that's a rant
Yeah,
for
we don't
another-
want that here. No, we'll
No,
save
and
it
I'm
for
here,
Discord.
and we all want Gollum. So have at it. No, talk Horus Heresy in the voice of Gollum, please. Please. Umbongo, yes. Umbongo is amazing.
On Bongo. Yeah.
Umbongo, the drink the Congo. Like, yes.
Oh
That was
mate.
amazing.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it?
That was a good drink as well. I think it's still going. I might
Remember
be
the
wrong,
old PG Tips adverts with the chimpanzees?
but- Yeah.
And
Was it,
one was actually called
Johnny-
Kevin.
Wasn't that Johnny Vegas?
No, before that they actually had real chimpanzees and like
Oh yeah.
yeah, and you could get a stuffed toy of Kevin the chimp.
Did 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 you do you like, Mom, his name's Kevin as well?
I actually got gifted one by a mate for my birthday when I was a kid. Actually, it was ridiculous. But I you know, I was thankful because I wasn't an ungrateful child.
It's like,
But,
yay, brought me a Kev monkey.
But yeah, no. Where did the paper go? I had paper. Oh, there it is. I was on. Oh yeah, Johnny Vegas was just like, "Hey, monkey!"
Did you see it when he was on the last leg? Did you see that?
Which time?
There's
I've only seen a few episodes here and there.
Go check it on your YouTube. I swear to God, it like he basically kills everyone with laughter in it. It's so funny that it puts me in tears every time I see it. I've watched it about 50 times already. But yeah,
I vaguely think I know what you're on about. I've
he's
seen the compilation of funniest Johnny Vegas moments on the TV shows, and I think that was in there.
Yeah, because he basically, like, before the show starts, he's just like, "Oh, I did it," and everyone's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh, I killed him," and everyone's like, "What?"
That was it. He just came up with this whole story or something.
They was talking about peeing in a bath, and it was just like, yeah. Anyone that hasn't seen that, go on YouTube, type in Johnny Vegas, the last leg, and it's about 5 minutes of gold, where it just like the presenters can't do anything anymore. Everyone's just in stitches, and they can't even film because everyone's laughing so much.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
it was a good one. It definitely was a good one. Johnny Vegas, he's like that little bit of chaotic comedy.
Yeah, he can be very hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes it's not there, but then sometimes he's so on point. It's just unreal.
Definitely. Oh, someone said something about if you like a lot of chocolate in the biscuit, join
our club.
Hey.
Yeah, I remember that. God, we're old.
Oh yeah. Just no debating it. You wake up, your back's all like, and you're like, and then you go to do something, and then something pops or gets overstretched, and you're like, then you're out for the day.
Is that a daily occurrence for you?
No, just happens now and then.
You get up.
I'm not that unhealthy. Like
you get up. It's my back. Something pops. Then
to be fair, I haven't got the most comfortable bed. Like, and because the kids keep being in the bed and not staying in their own, it makes things very cramped.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that because my dog every now and again tries to like climb into bed and like go to sleep. And sometimes I'm just too tired. I'm like, oh, whatever. But I found out he kicks me in the spine.
Oh yeah, I get kicked in the face. So being kicked in the spine would be a privilege at this point. I don't know how he does it, but one of the kids he goes, we're all lying parallel with the bed.
Right.
He doesn't. He goes straight across.
He's trying to create noughts and crosses.
Yeah, and it's just the foot is right there. Half the time, it's like little fucking shit, and you just want to toss him out of the bed, but you can't because he's 2 years old. Yeah, and the thing is, I could. He's a bit scrawny, so you know you can still lift him up one arm and just lob him.
So that's the hardest thing about it, is that you physically know you can throw this child as far as you want to.
But you have to rein it in. Ever the struggle of a parent of frustrating children, you know. My 3-year-old is a bit more robust, so he can
launch it.
Actually, you know what, even though he's only a year and a bit older, he feels like he's like 3 times as heavy as his brother, because
Is
he's
he
brought
stealing the other one's food?
sometimes, but only because his other brother doesn't eat.
Okay.
Yeah, his brother's like a grazer. He will nibble away at his food for the whole day,
Okay.
and he's very picky. He's kind of borderline vegetarian, you know, but he makes exceptions now and then.
Have you just thought about just giving him vegetarian food?
Yeah, I gave him a whole plate of vegetables, and he looked at me with utter disgust, like I just farted in his face, you know. And I was like, "Look, that's all you bloody eat most of the time." And he's like, "Yeah, but my brother got a sausage, so I want a sausage." I was like, "Good thing I made an extra one then." And then you'll give it to him, and he go, "No, I don't like it." Don't be a fussy little shit. Like no one likes fussy shits. Just eat or go hungry. That's it. Those are your options. You know, this is how I was brought up. Yeah, you eat what's in front of you, and if you don't, you have it for the next meal, and if you don't, you have it for the next meal after. So you
Just
eat.
good. Spud and Pickle are running off on them. They're turning into Monty Python Yorkshiremen. I when you said that, for some reason my brain changed the sentence into Spud's running off with a Yorkshire pudding with Pickle. I don't know why, because we had that chat about Yorkshire puddings and Spud. So
Hang on. So I'm just quickly scrolling back up.
we've missed a
Johnson is
lot.
an absolute beast. Go up a bit further. Oh no, that's too far. Is that Tiamat?
It's a it's like Tiamat. It's apparently it's like the grand thing of Tiamat. So it's called Ma'al Draka.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you were warned not to knock any heads off because 2 will grow back in its place.
yeah, it's
That would be a
apparently it's not-
painter's nightmare, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's a Hydra, but it's yeah, it's supposed to be all of the chromatic dragons all in one spot. So it's a D&D thing. Even though I don't play D&D. I've learned the law.
Andy Allen said he had to dash and keep dipping in and out of the stream. Again, hope everyone's well. Karen Commissar, I live to embarrass my kids. It's the dad thing to do. I laughed, Kev. Thank you.
Oh,
Pickle
Don't
Jar said Vulcan
encourage
should
him.
come back. But he's a perpetual. There's always that chance he could just pop up and go, "Hello, I'm still alive."
to be fair,
Hello.
nearly-
My name's
Hello.
Vulcan. I'm made of rocks.
Just think of this a Vulcan
here's me
Corgan.
mate, Meek. There's no Wi-Fi code, obviously.
Oh dear. Oh,
They need a
dear.
new Dawn model. I think second Primarch will come back, says Kev. Well, he can't because he doesn't exist. Except Hush Whispers. They need to update Guardsman range. Primarchs who need them. Don't do anything to the guard. I don't fancy painting another 120 Guardsmen. Well, I mean, you kind of got new Guardsmen in the form of the what was it, the Solar Astra the Astra Militarum, and you got the Solar Auxiliary.
The
something like that.
only downside with that logic,
And
is
also
the Solar-
you've got the Kazakhun kind esque looking dudes, haven't you?
the Tempesta Scions are part
Yeah.
of the Astra Militarum,
wow.
apparently, but the only downside with the Solar Auxiliary is Forgeworld's discontinuing a fair bit of the range at the moment. So you're just like, oh, okay, no more of that then.
Now that Luthor has escaped the stasis cell on the rock, they're in a perfect position to bring back the Lion with a great antagonist waiting. So Dark Angels versus Fallen Showdown campaign. You gotta feel sorry for Luthor. Yeah, he basically got abandoned because the Lion didn't trust him and half his legion, and it was just like, yeah, yeah, you could just hang back here for a bit. What did you expect was going to happen in a civil war?
Yarp.
Yarp.
Yarp. It's the same kind of thing as what the Emperor did with Horus. He'd be like, I'm going back to Terra. You can deal with it now. And then,
Yeah.
oh, that went bad.
Someone said it's a Kev ting. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Captain.
Speaking that voice for the rest of the stream. No.
Please.
Because just no.
Please.
Kev had joined Elstonation in being a verb. Sweet.
What? Oh, it's a Kev ting. Yeah.
It's a Kev ting.
Captain.
Before Sunny D got all the sugar taken away. Yeah, those are the days. Oh yeah, when that one person had Sunny D literally for every refreshment, like they just didn't drink anything else but Sunny D, and then they started turning a bit orange. It was
Well,
like,
the fact that Sunny D was a massive laxative as well.
all the sugar, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's basically juice, which will basically degrade anything in your stomach. So just this. So yeah.
A finger of fudge is just enough to give the kids a treat full of chocolate goodness.
A finger of fudge.
Oh dear.
I mean, we're borderlining innuendo.
The red car and the blue car had a race. All the red car did was fill his face. That's the Milky Way. No, yeah, it is the Milky Way one, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Someone's shouting. Oh, Kev is shouting trio.
Oh yeah, trio. I remember that.
I want a trio and I want one now. Oh my days. Lovely chocolate on a crispy biscuit. Stuck in my head.
Yeah. Trio.
And they disliked again, haters. Oh, someone disliked. Oh well, never mind. I had Toad in a hole tonight. Wow. Oh, this one's not good. How you doing, buddy? I'm gonna do a quiet wah this time because last time I almost blew someone's speaker. So, wah, wah,
Got him.
wah.
Got him. Got him.
Is that a New Zealander? Well, I mean, it kind of, but not quite like. Pirate Green Pickle saying, I'm not sure what I've missed. You've missed many voices of care. The Sunny D story is false, says the Pickle Jar.
Many.
Don't spoil our childhoods like that. Come on. Yeah, that's like saying that that kid who claimed that their little alien thing that came in a capsule had babies was a lie. Don't spoil our childhood like that.
What are you talking about?
Remember, you used to get like a little capsule full of goo, and then you had that weird, squishy, rubbery alien fetus-like thing inside, and someone would claim that theirs had a baby or some shit. You know, like the stupid shit that kids say.
Really? That was a. Do you ever remember? I don't know if it was a bit of a rare toy. It was like trash bag toys, where it was kind of a little bit of a blind buy, but yeah, basically the toy came in.
Yeah,
a bag,
it was a lucky dip.
Yeah, you kind of dissolved the bag and the toy came out of it. So
Oh no, it wasn't a dissolve. No, I do remember lucky dips though. Lucky dips were good. You got like an activity sheet, some sweets, a little toy thing in there. That was good. What quid?
Oh, what was it? Is it Pocket Monsters?
Pocket Monsters.
Is it Pocket Monsters? That thing, tiny little things like that. Like loads of the monsters. You got like Griffins, you got Cyclops.
Oh, there was loads of things like that around that time, wasn't there?
Yeah.
If you got to choose a 40k Chaos Army, which would you choose and why? Well, we already know Elston's would be Night Lords. Unless he's got bored of them.
Yeah, 40k Chaos, you're saying. Because I'm not that keen on 40k Night Lords because they're a bit.
How about some Dark Angels?
But like something more like World Eaters could be fun. Thousand Suns. I got Thousand Suns, so they're kind of interesting.
Mm.
Basically, any of the big four, then I'm happy. Not that keen on Black Legion, but yarp,
Yeah.
yarp.
Elston's older than I know. Elston's older than us, but only by a few years. Wait,
No, but
where on the spectrum of 30s are you?
me,
Yeah.
I was 37 last. No, it was in March. Now I was 37 in January.
So you're only 4 years older than me. So it's not that much of a difference that you wouldn't get some of the references that I mention and vice versa.
Possibly.
Though you would know a couple of TV shows before I was born, obviously. And of course, you would have got a healthy dose of radiation from Chernobyl. So, yeah. Thanks,
Because
Soviet Russia.
obviously Chernobyl blasted it around the globe with its radiation.
Yeah. Well, most of Europe definitely got big chunks of it. There's still areas in the UK which are radioactive and cordoned off.
Kev, you need to stop the conspiracy theory.
It's not conspiracy. Like they're only like little patches, like literally little patches in the field in the middle of
Bring
nowhere.
it onto YouTube hobby talk. We're talking about Warhammer, not radiation.
Someone's talking about R White's variations.
Pickles off. See you later, Pickle. Have a good one,
See ya,
dude.
Pickle. And yes, Pocket Monsters was the original name for Pokemon, but there were other things that they were called
Yeah,
Pocket
oh,
Monsters
it must
as
have been
well.
Monsters in My Pocket.
Mm.
Might have been that.
It was Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Are you not getting?
thought it was-
Are you not getting confused with Cabbage Patch Kids? Because those were dolls with weird faces.
I'm not. If you're talking about me, no, I'm definitely not talking
No, I'm
about Cabbage
Judge
Patch.
Gooch.
There was a like a monster thing. It was kind of like a blind buy, but you basically like dissolve the monster in its thing. You basically just got the bag, put it in water, it dissolves, and you got a toy.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it was alright.
Sounds legit. Well, we got to answer your question on the favorite, I wouldn't say favorite, but I do think the what were they called after the Astral Claws that went dark?
Oh, the
What
Red
did they call it?
Corsairs.
Yeah, I think they were pretty badass because
Okay.
they just turn around and then like wrecked a whole sector, and then like it took how many how many chapters to go in and sort that mess out. So with Horan, no, it was Horan, wasn't it?
Huron.
Or Haran.
Huron.
Dude
Huron
with the big
Blackwood.
opening hand. He was like, "I
Oh,
bless you with my bolty fist."
Yeah, Huron Loft was his name.
That was it. And another question for Wargamer Spud. He asked, "What is, or who is rather, our favorite 30k/40k character?"
That's a question. You go first on that one.
See, you know what? I'm quite tricky with that because I don't really stick to favorites because I always like various things for various reasons. I'm a bit diplomatic like that. But in 30k, there are moments where I like certain characters more than others. Like when what's he saying? Loken. I think Loken when he actually caught up with Horus at one point, and he was about to lay a smackdown on him on his ship, I think, but then he ended up having to get bailed out. I think that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, it was the was that the Vengeful Spirit? Was that book? I think it was.
Yeah. I also like Old Man Parsons because he's quite a neutral character, but he just gets stuck in all the wrong situations that forces his hand to be on the loyalist side, you know. But he just wants to have that quiet farm life.
It's just like, no, you're going into war again.
Yeah. Someone just drops a starship on your planet. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
40k wise, you know what? I don't think I've got a favorite character in 40k, to be honest. And I hear all the Eisenhorn fans, you know, cry in dismay. But like, I never read the book, so I can't say that a lot.
Kev.
Yeah.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Yes. Yes. I didn't read the Eisenhorn or the Ravner books, or the subsequent spin-off either. I was reading other stuff. Actually, like I pretty much read Gotrek and Felix. They like the entire lot. I've read the Vampire Omnibus, the Dwarf Omnibus, the Bretonian Omnibus, and a few other random one-offs. And then also in 40k, I did read my first proper story was Dead Men Walking, which is
I don't know that one.
amazing. Essentially, this world turns out to be a tomb world, a Necron tomb world, and the Necrons are quite sort of passive in the way they cleanse everyone, and they don't really start ramping up their cleansing of the planet until the Death Corps of Krieg come in and start recruiting everyone who's still alive on the planet to fight against the Necrons.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I won't spoil the story, but it's an absolute brilliant one, and I think it was re-released for the Black Library celebration. But that's well worth a read because it gives you good insight on Death Corps of Krieg, and they're weird people. And then I've read a random Sisters of Battle book, which also featured a Necron tomb world, which, you know, it kind of was a bit of a what the F, because it was a monastery planet for the sisters. And then, Shrine World, that's it. It was a Shrine World. It turned out to be a tomb world. And what else did I read? Oh yeah, then I really got into the Horus Heresy books when they first came out. So I read all of that up until like the mid-30s. And then I've kind of just lost track of keeping up with those.
You just got old.
Yeah, I got old, you know, like when I started reading those books, I think I just turned 16.
Okay.
And I got like, you know, that was when the books first came out, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, it's still going now. Yeah. And you just can't keep up with that, man. Like the intense amount of reading you'd have to do. That's a lot of toilet time that you'd have to sneak in the day.
It's the only time you read.
It's the only peace and quiet time that I get to read. Yeah, if I'm not recording or editing or just, you know, sitting on my ass and doing nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, what other?
You know, you're only supposed to label one.
Yeah, I know. It's just the character. There's so many characters to like.
So what's your favorite then? Who's your favorite? If you had to pick one out of all of them.
Well, no, I'm fucked. It's not gonna help.
Oh, you gave up quick there, didn't you?
Yeah, I just can't. oh, how about no, actually no.
Gonna elaborate on that?
No. I did read 2 of the Araman books, by the way. They were good. That made me appreciate Araman a bit more, because until then I'd only read him in the context of 30k.
Still not really answering the question, though, are you?
Yeah.
Come on, pick one. That's all you gotta do. You're doing well here, Kev. Come on.
Hmm.
One. Just one.
No, I can't. I can't pick one out of so many. Top 5. Okay. You know what? Until I saw the comic book strip of Marnie's Calgar ripping the head off of a Lord of Skulls, like I thought he was a bit meh. I saw that, I was like, yes. So he goes in at number 5.
Right. So, who's number 1? You
In
can't start from
40k.
5, work your way to 1 if you haven't figured out who 1 is yet.
In 40k, it's I don't know.
Right, pick 1 from 30k and 1 from 40k. Then.
All right, the random guy who got recruited by the Death Corps of Krieg to fight the Necrons, went through all that psychological trauma just for the Death Corps of Krieg. I'm not going to spoil the story actually, but you know, yeah, I'll pick him as my number 1. I can't remember his name.
You don't know
He's
his name. Okay.
random citizen of the Imperium who stepped up.
Okay, right. Okay, so that's your 40k. Who's your 30k?
This is going to cause a lot of division, because I do like Loken. I do like what's his name? Was that the Death Guard dude who had the big eagle on his chest?
Nathaniel Garrow.
Garrow, that's it. I don't know why that slipped my mind because I listened to the audiobooks half anyway. I also like the guy, the Ultramarine who got censored
Rubio.
just before everything kicked off, and like Gilliman was like, "Hey, we need people like you. Come on along." And then like the way he went was kind of like, oh. But my favorite moment has to be when Gilliman just goes, like, he's talking to his brother, everything just goes to and then some demonic entity just bursts through the screen and attacks him, and then like he gets sucked out into space. He's like, what the? Blasts everyone, gets back into the ship, and then just goes absolutely bananas. And
so what is your
but that a close second to that, well, Gilliman, but the close second to it is Angron, because he got stomped on by a Titan, couldn't figure out which way was up, so he ended up digging his way down more with his bare hands.
So okay, so your favorite
just because
character
of the
in
pure
30K.
rage of him, he's like, I'm not gonna screw you lot, I'm not gonna get beaten by this shit, I'm gonna dig myself out bare hand. And he didn't care that he was going the wrong way.
So just to clarify on this front, because I'm not entirely sure if we've got the straight answer. Your favorite character from 30k is Gilliman, right?
Yes.
Right, cool. Okay.
Because he's actually an interesting character in 30k as opposed to 40k. He's not that interesting in 40k.
If you have to say he's actually an interesting character, it makes me think. I've read all the 30k as well, so trust me.
Okay.
Okay, so is that your final two answers? Random Citizen and Gilliman.
Because I've been put on the spot, and I, you know, like, yeah.
All you had to do is pick one.
Yeah, but I'm being asked to pick my favorite. This is why I don't pick favorites.
Right. So you good? You good?
Yeah, let's breeze past that nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. Right.
So what's blimey? Is that the time already?
Yes, it is. If you're doing 2 hours, we're coming to a close.
Wow, dude, it's flown by, mate. I've been having such a laugh with you.
It happens with me. I end up causing. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what happens with me. It just happens. So.
Well, no, it happens whenever I have an interesting guest, and so far all my guests have been interesting. So some more than others. Not going to mention any who waffle too much. Dodge. Love you, really.
I think he's picking favorites there. You know, after he's saying he wasn't picking favorites, I think he's just picked some favorites.
Well, no, no, I didn't pick
Or
favorites.
yeah, sorry, he picked the people he liked least. Not favorites, just not the best.
Yeah. The problem is, right, we had a plan for the show, right, and we were going to talk more about breaking Warhammer Bubble, but I did appreciate the fact that he did go into so much detail and elaborated the design and the concepts and everything about the miniatures that he was producing.
Oh, are we talking about Atlantis miniatures here?
Sure.
Sorry, I had to get
but at the same time, it meant that because we were limited for time, we couldn't move on. So it was kind of like you know, you got the best of one thing, but you missed out on the other. But I mean, I'd happily have him back on so we can talk about alternative gaming. Because
do you think you'll actually get onto that, or do you think it'll just go the way it did last time?
I think we could, yeah. But I'd have to sort of target him a bit more, and I'll get his missus to jab him, just like whenever he starts talking a bit too much, she could just jab him with a pointy stick or something.
You have to be the host, Kev. You have to direct the conversation to where you want it.
Well, I've been directing it so far, haven't I?
What, on this show?
Yeah, I made you try and help me figure out who was my favorite character.
You made me try and help you figure out who was your favorite.
You didn't try and move on, did you?
All I wanted was a sensible answer out of you instead of your favorite moments, and I was like, I just want a character.
Yeah, no. The problem is, it depends who's writing the characters, doesn't it? Really.
Right. Okay. Well, since you didn't ask me who mine was as well, considering the question was for both of us, I will interject with my.
Oh no, I'm moving the conversation along.
Tough luck. I'm in control. So.
I think it was my bad that I missed out. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
So what are your favorite 30k and 40k characters?
So my favorite 40k character is Harlan Nail.
So Frost and Fist say mine is a.
Sorry.
I'm just interrupting for no reason. Go on, carry on.
You're right. Okay. Well done, Kev. You're using my own tricks against me. You're learning. Clever girl. Yeah. So. If I start talking, will you start interrupting?
No, if you
don't,
really, if you
if I say
hurry
really
up.
fast, if I say, there you go. So my favorite character is Harlan Nail from Eisenhorn. You have no idea who that is, do you?
Did you say Hollandaise? Isn't that
Harlan Nail? His first name is Harlan. His second name is Nail.
Right.
And he is an ex-bounty hunter that tags along with Eisenhorn, and he is just cool.
Okay.
Yep. You have to read the series to appreciate Harlan Nail. But
is it just like is he a quick-witted character, or is he just hard as nails?
He's kind of quick-witted, but he's that sidekick who's the absolute badass, but at the same time would also like he's still a bounty hunter to a degree, so he'll still be like, no, this is a dumb idea, and like do whatever it's like sensible. But he also follows the boss. So to be honest with you, if you haven't read Eisenhorn, it's very hard to explain the kind of the characters out of it. But it would be either that one. No, it is Harlan Nail. Second would be probably McVenna from the Gaunt's Ghost series. Again, both Dan Abnett books, and I strongly suggest you look into reading them because they are amazing.
I do like a bit of Dan Abnett.
Yeah, though, like Eisenhorn is his best work so far. Ravner comes in third, but Gaunt's Ghost comes in second. Gaunt's Ghost is much better than Ravner.
Right.
But yeah. The weird thing is with Gaunt's Ghost, it's all about Guardsmen, but it's such a good story,
Yeah.
and you just cannot get attached to characters. Because thou die.
Well, that's what the guard are there for, isn't it? Their meat shield.
Exactly, but like characters you think are they sticking around? They don't stick around.
Nice. I like that kind of story where, you know, like you can't stick to a favorite because just keep dying off, but it's consistent with the story and it helps the story progression rather than just randomly nuking
Yeah,
someone.
It's like, oh, he saved his life somehow. You're like, why?
Yeah.
Why are they alive? That and 30k is Sevatar.
Yeah, well, another moment of mine which I like of Sevatar is when he has that meeting with some of his officers and he knows they're a bit rebellious and he has the
Throws
meeting
a
with them
spit
and
down.
then he walks away amicably and they're all a bit confused by it and then they realise, oh F, he left his staff there and he goes
Yeah.
beep.
All the
Job done.
Terminators. Yeah, just show up and like bang.
Bye bye. I think that's awesome. He's got an exploding spear.
No, it's not an exploding spear. It's a teleport Homer.
Oh, it's the
what
teleport Homer. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So
I'm
Terminators just go
misremembering.
beep, put down per room, just blast everyone.
Aha.
Yeah, it's not an exploding spear.
No, okay. Well, it's been a very long time since I read it. Like,
Yeah.
when did that come out? Actually, at
That's
least
a while
15
ago.
years ago, isn't
I
it?
think that was Prince to Crows, and I think it's at the end of that
Prince of
story as well when
Crows.
he's caught by the Dark Angels. He's in that cell and he keeps on spitting at the wall because they got like acid spit.
Acid spit.
There's
Yeah.
just that big hole, and they're like, and he's like, "It was rats, wasn't me."
Hey, Bodley for Advantage. How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Can we talk about how Blackadder seems to get many references in Warhammer? Caiaphas Kane and Jurgen, Cal Jericho, and Scabs. I'm pretty sure there was a fantasy pair too. You have to think though, Blackadder was before all of that, so like, you know, the Black Library novels were written, so if anything they were influenced by Blackadder. But then of course, you know, if you're going to be influenced by similar historical events like the trenches in World War One, you're going to get similar story sort of references anyway.
I think on some of the occasions, Blackadder would have been filmed and shot and aired at the same time that a lot of these books were being wrote, because it's been a while. It's, as the Americans would say, it's been a minute. Greenhead, done.
When was the last time that Blackadder was actually filmed?
I have no idea on that one. I cannot help you. I think, well, I'm guessing it was like a special.
Couldn't have been more than the early 90s, right?
Maybe late 90s.
Really, that far?
I reckon late 90s.
Doesn't seem like it went on that late.
I reckon it did.
I thought it finished earlier. Hang on, another Google Foo moment. Google Foo.
Maybe mid 90s, but
I will teach you in the ways of Google Foo.
Okay.
Last air date. Search. This new update is really annoying me.
Okay.
Lick ID and it what? That don't make sense.
What doesn't make sense to you?
It said 1983.
No, because that was the year before I was born.
That can't be right. That must have been when it was first done.
Yes, that sounds about right.
So it would be Blackadder 2 would be the... No?
Just what have you put into Google? Do you want me to teach you
Last
how to
air
Google
date of
food?
Blackadder. But it only come up with first season of Blackadder.
Right. Hang on.
Can you
God's
name all of the seasons of Blackadder and then like just tell me what the last season was called? Blackadder Goes Forth is a yeah, that was a good one.
Plan F, goodbye. It's the 6th and final episode. Blackadder Goes Forth, the 4th series of the British historical thing. 2nd of November, 1989.
Oh, there you go.
Really? Is it that late?
There you go.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
I didn't think
80s?
it was well into the late 90s. I mean, it would have been reshown, but
Yeah, they did. Didn't they do some specials?
it's set Modeling for Advantage said they did a Millennium Dome Special Edition time machine thing.
Yeah, I remember that. That's maybe where I'm getting mixed up.
Someone said they had a series in around the 2000s. I don't think they did, unless it was like again that special that was mentioned.
Yeah, all I'm seeing for season 5 is just rumors. Blackadder movie?
Did I miss a question? Who is your favorite commissar? Second to me, of course.
Gotta be gone.
I don't know a lot of commissars by name at all, really.
There was Blackadder back and forth.
Are we going cheek to cheek?
Ah, yeah. So Blackadder back and forth came out in 1999.
Right.
So that's
That was a
where
one-off.
I got mixed up.
Okay.
I think that's the time machine one.
There we go.
There we go. There. Late 90s.
Sweet.
Right. Kev,
Yes.
we're running out of steam here, aren't we?
We are. Yeah, it's coming. It's naturally coming to the end of the show, I think, which is good. You know, like you don't want to force it. And I was waiting for you to finish with the Blackadder stuff before I called it.
That's fine. Do you want me to wrap it up?
Well, actually, you can drop all your self promotional jargon
cool.
and give yourself a
Cool.
shout out and all that. And
I'll do a little bit of plugging. So, my name is
no,
Elstonation.
mate, don't do any plugging. Like, keep that for your OnlyFans. Just keep it clean.
Sure, you done with that?
Can we do cheek to cheek? Just 1 minute.
It doesn't show up like that, does it? Does it?
It does. Yeah, keep going.
I can't. Otherwise, I go into a
You
wall.
look so. There we go.
This is
Someone
rather-
screenshot it.
That's not happening. I feel violated, even though I'm like 100 miles away from you.
Let's lick you in the ear.
Go away.
All right, go on. You want to give
I was gonna
yourself a little promotional shout out?
I was going to promote my stuff, and then you want to lick me in the ear.
Yeah, man.
Okay, right. Try and get back to it. I'm only going to let you finish this show if you do it in Colin's voice.
What do you mean you'll let me fit? I get to push the end stream button.
Yes, but I will make it so unprofessional for you.
Nah.
Yeah. So, shall I do my bit now? Are we done?
Go for it, mate.
Yay! Cool. Right, my name is Elstonation. I'm waiting for something. You can find me on Elstonation's Minis on Facebook. There's also Elstonation on YouTube. I released a video today about a silly amount of models I painted in February. A lot of people on Facebook went nuts in the heresy groups because they all like don't like counting.
Mhm.
So that was funny. And yeah, there's going to be videos coming out. You can find me on Chilling Wargamers every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. GMT ish. And it's like I got that the wrong way around. 8 p.m. supposed to come after. Yeah. Anyway, GMT ish means something completely different to 8 p.m. ish GMT.
Yes.
So yes, it does. So yeah, I'm me. I do weird things. Come check me out. There's a poll on what I'm going to be painting in April. So if anyone wants to go have a look at my community tab, you can go vote for what I'm going to paint next. And that is me. Now we're going to say goodnight to our wonderful hobby corner Kev. He is the hostess with the mostest.
Nonsense.
But chat, will you please join me in support to say that Kev really does need to do this outro in the style of Gollum, because nothing else will do.
Well, like I said, unless I'm getting some funky donations, I can't just give that out for free. I ain't cheap.
You are a performer on YouTube. We all
I
do stuff
ain't-
for free.
I ain't no like cheap hussy Kev on the street corner. I'm in my house corner. Okay, I'm a
The way-
step up.
The way you just said that implies that you are.
Shocking. Absolutely shocked. How could you accuse me of such a thing? I am not a crook.
You're trying to do the same thing I'm doing. It's like lower the voice down because everyone else is going to bed, so we can't shout anymore.
Yeah, no. You have to just ease them into bed with soft, subtle tones.
That's
Just
what Kev does.
close your eyes, lay your head down, and spill that non-oil all over your clean sheets.
Non-oil to Kev is an innuendo for something else. I'm not sure what.
Sure, no, that's the wrong medium, really, isn't it? To anyways, so yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Elston, for being on our show.
You're calling it a medium. That
It's-
implies you use it.
It is a medium.
Is that how you refill your tubs?
Huh?
Is that how you refill your Lamy and medium tubs?
Well, I mean, it's it is a medium for other things. If you take the other things out, it just leaves the medium. I haven't got Zoom, so.
No, doesn't quite work the same, does it?
Anyways, so yeah, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It's been a good laugh, and
Thanks, man.
I've
Thanks for
enjoyed
having me.
the chaos. It's sort of been on my sort of level of non-sensory, so
Yeah, don't
nonsensical
make things serious.
nonsense. Yeah, and I did actually get some painting done. Surprisingly, yeah, I just painted the little jewels hanging off the ladies' branches. That's it. 3 little jewels.
Well done, Kev. Master of productivity this evening.
Always, never a procrastinator. Procrastinator. Have to repeat it so people don't get the wrong thing. Anyways, thank you so much for being on the show, mate. Thank you everyone for joining us in the chat as well. It's been amazing to have you here. As always, if you wish to support the channel and you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it so you don't miss any videos and you get all the notifications. Like the video, because that always helps other people get to see this nonsense. And then there are various social media links in the description below. I need to sort out a link tree thing because it's ridiculous how many links I've got going. Also, there are plenty of ways of supporting the channel. So, Element Games link is there. Go save yourself some money and it gives me a kickback at no extra cost to you, which is a win-win. Or alternatively, you can order yourself some magazines or books or whatever from Forbidden Planet. Again, costs nothing extra to you and I get a little kickback, so helps us both out. And of course, don't forget to check out the Chilling Wargamers Facebook and Discord, which links are in the description below as well. And lastly, I got a link there for Mr. Elstonation's channel, so if you're not familiar with it, go check it out. And
if anyone wants to help me out because I can't buy models this year, just send me stuff.
yes, or buy some STLs and then just say, hey, you can print yourself off an extra copy if you print mine off for me.
That might happen, Kev. If you want to go down that route, we can have a look at that.
I just don't have the room. Oh.
Printing? What's printing, precious?
Yes. I'm so happy now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chips? What's chips, precious?
So good. So good.
No, it wasn't chips. He goes,
You can keep your filthy chips. Taters? What's taters, precious?
potatoes, boil 'em, mash 'em, put 'em in a stew. Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. I'm gonna go to the bye screen now. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Oh, do
Bye.
you do it as well now?
I always do it because it's just
Oh.
stupid.
It's what we
Bye.
do.
Yeah, I know. I was inspired.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Someone watched my video.
Speaking of inspiration, you know who else was inspired? Mr. Pickle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was inspired by an old thumbnail that I used to ridicule his photography video, if you remember.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, the old.
Is this firing shots like?
Oh yeah, firing shots everywhere.
Just like gunfighters in the street, but just really bad aims.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, just, you know, I'm gonna shoot off my nose for the hell of it.
This is something else.
Yeah.
Just gonna shoot off.
Anyways, do a Chinese accent crossed with Gollum.
Yeah, two Chinese columns.
What would that even sound? I don't even know if that's possible.
Fortune cookies? What's fortune cookies, precious? Chicken chow mein? We like our butts raw and wriggling.
So good, we're going to eat this. So we're gonna have to eat this.
And now
voice
I've been
control.
banned from YouTube.
So good.
Oh dear. Alright, we're gonna leave it. Have a good night, everyone.